then it'll go to the projects folders.
Yep. All right. So now that we got the deal summary package, that kicks off the AdCom partner manager discuss project with the partner and AdCom team lead. Again, this is the high view. We have a lower, more closer look on the next slide here, but just kind of going over it all together.
Okay.
We discuss it with the partner. Now that we have that deal summary form, we have something more tangible. The partner understands, and the partner and the client and AdCom support team, they all discuss it together. Once they all discuss it together, request information from the client. Once we receive that, hopefully within 5 business days. I just put 5 business days. I don't know what's the normal interval of that. Is it more
5
than
months.
that? Yeah, it could be longer.
It depends on,
2 or 3
yeah,
weeks.
2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks at the
it's
minimum.
whenever they wanna give it to us.
The
I
average is
would,
about.
I would probably change that because I think that's unrealistic, but
Okay.
at least put 10 business days there,
Okay.
give them a couple of weeks.
4 weeks, okay. And that's just, that KPI is just something to gauge, like, why is
Mhm.
it taking so long?
Mhm.
Is it something we need to change? So,
Now, this is request information from client, this could be any information, right? Not necessarily just aligned to AdNet.
you say align to AdNet? What do you mean align to AdNet? What you mean?
Aligned to managed services, it could be a non-managed service deal, it could be just a install deal or.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the information that we need to, and this is a new customer. We're doing this as a new customer.
Could be like a golden configuration template, could be WAN IP addresses that our partner's gonna need,
'Cause-
so.
Yeah,
Who manages, who, are we looking for to pull that data, who pulls it?
the data for,
The data we're looking for, to Kevin's point, if it's IP addressing, if
Well,
it's.
that's a question I have, is it gonna be me, and now I have to transfer that over to the partner, or
Cause I don't think.
is
we
it the
want-
partner?
Yeah,
no,
I think this is now, we're still pre-sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
no, this is after sales now, because we got the sales done deal.
Well, yeah, it's post-sales, but still
Still
needs.
Post-installation, I mean, it's pre-installation, definitely.
Yeah, needing pre-sales type
Pre-implementation.
assistance.
And I think from that perspective, I was talking to the project managers, they were saying that they're gonna definitely need the client information so they can put into AdNet to build that client page. That's very important. So if the partner do it, or if we do it, it seems like if that's a choice, I would definitely say we do it, at that level, getting all the
So-
client information together. And whatever the partner needs, that partner
feed that.
manager will.
We feed that to them.
We feed that to them, but we definitely need that client information, especially, again, we're just looking at it for new, customers.
Okay, so one thing I note here, this is a very serial process, right?
Mhm.
At some point, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get to them, Unilink or IPsec top, right? I mean, at some point, that could happen in parallel to the customer,
Mhm.
giving information. You can
Right.
say, okay, if you want Unilink, then you go ahead and fill out this form, and we'll get that started while you're filling out your.
Right.
onboarding document. I just wanna make sure that there are some things that can be done in parallel.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
and I think we need more information,
To know that.
right, because of everything that we're doing, could be AdNet, could be Unilink, and then the information that we'll pass to the partner will be a smaller subset, as opposed to the partner getting a
Right,
bunch of data
right.
that they gonna transfer most of it to us.
Yeah.
So it
Okay,
should come to us,
so
and I
my
think we
question-
should give it to the partner.
Based on that, if this customer decides they want a Unilink,
Mhm.
we need to do that here and not the partner.
Oh, right, exactly, yeah, so we'll be
We'll
doing
be-
90%, the 90% of the data gathering,
Yeah.
we'll use internally. And the 20% we'll hand off, like the golden configuration template, the PER, CER IPs,
Yeah, 'cause we don't
to
wanna
build
give
the route, for them to configure the
our, we don't wanna
route.
give our AT&T account information for the Unilink
Oh, no,
out to
no,
the
yeah.
partner.
Yeah, and also, once we get this information, we can kick off, ordering, the circuits, as well as, the equipment as well too. And that's what, that triggers that, once we get the information, the next step is AdCom partner manager orders network equipment and circuits. Once the partner receives client network equipment and circuit FOC dates, then the AdCom partner manager manage professional services, and that's pretty much, once they receive the equipment and the circuit FOC dates, now that's where the partner starts to, go into installing and everything, in that process. Once that once that partner finishes the install, the partner project manager opens a change request to add sites to monitoring, and then the AdCom implementation manager add the sites actually to AdCom, and once they add that site to verify, then the billing starts.
So the only thing I'm looking at all these blocks, and each one of these blocks gives an owner except third lane down, the last one, request information from client. We need to put in that block who's doing that
Who's doing that?
requesting.
Okay.
Because every other block,
How's that?
when they look at it, they know, well, that's
They're doing
mine.
it. Okay,
Mhm.
Okay.
that's fair.
And was it on today's call that the account managers were trying to get as much of that onboarding document information? I know Michelle does that, but I didn't know if that was gonna be
I think that's it. I think they're gonna have to have a little hand holding by the NOC, at least to get started.
Mhm.
Not the NOC, but Josh and onboarding folks, because, you can't just dump that thing out to a customer and
Oh, right, yeah, exactly. So today, there was a call about the onboarding, that big tab, that big spreadsheet with all the tabs.
Oh, yeah.
And Michelle said that she does that today. She goes to the client, pulls down and gathers
Sure.
all that
And I think
information,
Jonathan does that too.
populates it.
Okay,
But I was trying to figure out, is that, Rick
Yeah.
was on the call, and I didn't know if that was gonna be an account manager's,
It was
For the rest
not
of the
actually
team.
said,
okay.
right? I think it was assumed that that's what it was gonna be.
So here's, and what's gonna have to happen when we're comfortable with this, you're gonna have to get on a call with Rick and go over it,
okay,
and make sure these two minds meet
okay.
on who's doing what, and we'll all have to be on that call, not
Yeah.
I think
Michelle
that the
probably.
PM's role obviously is to kind of act as the whip to drive these,
Mhm.
the owners of these processes to do things. But we pretty much got the Unilink and the IPsec tunnel process down to the sales and the SE, right? And Richard, right, so those are the three involved in that. And then you've got the onboarding, which is next. And you've got whoever is most appropriate to deal with the customer, right?
Most like the partner the
So
PM.
this
partner
last
manager.
step we gotta work on. There is no
I don't
AdCom
think the-
implementation
I
manager.
don't think the PM was actually interfacing with the customer for the onboarding document.
So
Yeah.
in this last box, the green box on
Yeah.
the third,
Request information from client. Yeah.
put, I think AdCom account manager
Okay,
slash AdCom, what do you call myself?
partner,
Sales engineer,
Okay,
yeah. Put those two at the top of that box, and that'll be the
yeah,
owners of that
alright,
box.
good, alright.
And then John had.
Yeah, the very last swim lane,
Oh, yeah, you said the,
the
that's an
last step,
implementation manager?
AdCom implementation manager works, I guess works the CR, but there is no AdCom implementation manager, so,
Yeah, I think that's usually Paul and Daniel.
So
So-
maybe say team instead of
well,
manager.
let's think about it before we just throw something in there. Partner project manager opens a change request to add sites to monitoring. Is the next steps,
Well, once the onboarding document is completed, then it's handed over to Paul and Daniel.
well, here's what I don't wanna do, it's what we always get ourselves into. I gave it to Baba, I gave it to Kevin. Well, that shit, there has to be, I think maybe, why don't we take that last block out? Partner project manager opens change request to add sites to monitoring. Sites added, yes, billing starts. Sites added, no, goes back to the project manager to escalate, or whatever.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think, in other words, do we want the product or the partner manager to put in the change request and just forget it, hope it gets done?
The partner? No.
No, not the partner, the project,
Oh, project.
the partner manager, whoever, what you
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it, partner
The
project
PM.
manager. The
Our
PM,
project manager.
Yeah, yeah.
do we want them just to put it in and forget it?
Well.
No, this is not saying that.
Hold, when you say the partner project manager, are you talking CCS's project manager? That's what he's talking about, not
Not
Jack.
Jackie. The
Not
partner
Lisa.
project manager.
So we're gonna set it up where they can open a change request.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that, Josh said we just give them that access.
Okay, so
So
let's
open up
think
the change.
through this again, then, partner project manager opens up a change request. And then sites added to monitoring, yes or, we don't wanna escalate to them, right? We wanna escalate to our,
It would be internal, cause it's a
It'd be
change
internal, it's a change
request, it's in
request.
our system.
So we'll go
Who
to
takes
that.
that change request?
I thought it was like the implementation manager, but now we're saying it's not.
It depends on what the request is. If it's an engineering function, it'll be.
It's just adding
No,
a
this
site,
is adding.
this is
Just
just
adding.
saying,
Site in
It would be
The team or
Well,
whoever.
it would be Daniel or Paul, which is, for want of a better term, is
So,
the aim.
so what's
yeah,
that?
we don't care who
Right.
does it.
Yeah.
Let's not get in the weeds about who
Yeah.
does it, let's get in the weeds about how do we make sure it's done, that's what we're trying to figure out.
You can call that the aim for better clarity.
So AdCom implementation manager, that's what AIM stood
Yeah.
for. So I can just change it to AIM.
So, partner project man, open the change request to add sites to monitoring. Sites added to monitoring, yes, billing starts. Sites added to monitoring, no. Maybe that block changes to
Escalate.
AdComs. Partner management escalates. We don't want the vendor to be escalating, do we?
No.
Well, the vendor's probably not gonna have any visibility to see if a change request is completed or not. He's just got visibility to input the change request.
So,
Josh gives him that.
Right, after that, then it's on us.
so here's what,
I guess
Okay.
how do we do that now? How do we?
Well, they have the change request form actually change colors to
Right.
indicate they've missed a date.
Right, I know they have metrics.
Your thing here, partner manager puts in the CR.
Yeah.
And then you
Project.
said site added. Yes, billing. Right?
Mhm.
No is what we need to figure out. No, does it go back? Well, here, first of all, PM, partner manager, puts in a CR. Part of that needs to be, when they do that, that change request has to alert our partner management that that went in.
our project manager.
Yeah, our project manager needs to know, boom, they put the CR in, right? You don't,
Can you do that? Can we do that in?
yeah, you
in
can
that?
alert when a change request gets put in.
Yeah, but I
Particular.
think alerts now are kind of an all or nothing type of thing.
Yeah.
All of what?
Everybody that's on the alert list gets alerted.
No. I think it alerts everybody,
That's part of that project.
yeah, but there's no way it alerts everybody who's ever had a change request in. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. There is some restrictions there. I would suspect that maybe if you had them alerted for ABC company and someone put a change request for something else, they might get that alert. You may not be able to get that granular. But what we want to do is make sure everything we have here, there's some kind of check at the end to make sure that, yes, it's complete.
Mhm.
Because we don't, to be honest with you, a lot of people do what they're supposed to do. Our challenge, you know this, is I did it, but it never quite got finished.
Right, yeah.
So,
There's no-
and think about this, Marcus, and then talk to Josh, how do we close that loop? Does someone get alerted when this is completed?
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree. Just thought we got that.
We just have to think about it between now and end of day Thursday, talk to Josh, how do we wanna handle this block if it's a no?
Yeah.
I
See,
think,
the project manager opened up a change request, I don't think we need to say where that, we all know where it goes in the change request queue.
Mhm.
But how do we know it's completed?
Yeah.
That's the key here, this block, we do everything right here, and we miss this,
That's all for
we're
that.
screwed, man.
Big time.
everything looked good.
Mhm.
We ain't got,
Yeah, I think you're right about the
To
learning
monitor.
in that if somebody's name is on that change request, once it's implemented, any more change requests are still gonna go to them.
and that's the other thing where we have to be thinking about this. Does the partner put it in, or does the partner alert our person, yes, we can open a change? If the partner puts it in, they may be the one that have to get the alert. That I don't know. And then you got the Fox Garden and Hen House, right? They're the only ones alerted, well,
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that,
it ain't gonna happen.
right?
But I'm just wondering, how do you associate an individual AdCom project manager to a group, a project that has a group of sites and they're part of that change request?
I guess by the
Alerting.
customer,
Cause that can be just one site, is what you're saying, right?
yeah,
It could
Yeah.
have 100
Yeah.
sites.
Yeah,
yeah,
and now you're having to create a change request system that has new projects, and those are associated with
mhm,
a project manager,
mhm,
along with Daniel
mhm.
and
No,
Paul. They have to be added, PMs have to be
And how
added.
do you take those alerts off when the project is completed, so they don't get any alerts after that on those same things?
Well, okay, so, I don't know, maybe alerts aren't the answer, but what you need here is a KPI from the time that change request goes in to it being complete.
Mhm.
So you don't have there needs to be a KPI between manager opens change request and change added to monitor.
You're saying what, like, did they open it or not,
No,
or
no,
how
no.
long it took?
They've already opened it. Partner project manager opens a change request, add sites to monitor. Sites added to monitoring, how many days are you gonna give them to add the site once the change request is open,
Oh, okay,
right? Cause, and Josh, you know, we need some kind of a KPI from him. Is it 3 business days? I don't know.
mhm,
And then
Okay.
after 3 business days, who does that get sent to? Who
Yeah.
manages that?
Yeah, so
what,
the non-alert monitoring for that today is one, Josh and team monitor the queue to see if anything changes colors and goes in jeopardy,
mhm,
which is tenuous at best. And number two, we're just starting a checklist for each of our project managers to go through and check things have been done and it's got a due date on the thing. But, you know, those are all out of the system type monitoring.
mhm. Oh, yeah, definitely. So change requests completed within whatever X amount of business days, okay, that'd be a KPI, okay. Good, good,
Okay,
all right,
so, not many notes on this one, we're pretty good.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so now you're taking the post-sale process closer look,
all right.
client kickoff. So this is with the client now, partner deal summary form received, director partner management assigns project partner manager.
So this is after it's sold, and it starts with that partner deal summary form being filled out, and we got a yes with the visa.
So now they're taking ownership of the weekly calls, I guess, is that what this is?
The director of partner management, or the?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So is this different from the other page? or is
It's
it
more
just
it's just more granular when it comes down to, after we get the partner summary, partner deal summary form. It's actually the more granular process steps, so what happens, the director of partner management assigns project to partner manager. Director of partner management conducts weekly internal call for new partner projects. Then the partner manager contacts, once they say, okay, here, I got a project. Partner manager contacts partner and AdCom internal team for a conference call. Then that partner manager, AdCom internal team, and partner review scope of projects. Again, everyone understands. Yes.
So the partner manager is the person that's at the company we're partnering with, right?
No, we're here. We're not calling them project managers. For all, I can easily just change everything and say AdCom project manager and partner partner project manager.
I think that's gonna confuse a lot of people reading this.
I know. I mean, that's what, because we, instead of saying project managers, call them project managers, we want to call them partner managers. But what are you gonna call the partner project manager, you know?
Yeah,
So,
Well, you could just call them partner, you don't have to, right?
but what function of that partner is it, you know?
I almost think it's.
You may have to, yeah, put the
Stick with
word
the
ad.
PM.
Yeah, AgCom,
Let me see what
partner,
it says here.
partner.
Come in.
No, AgCom
Project.
project manager, right?
Yeah, that's
I
good.
think it's gonna, otherwise it's gonna, I mean, I'm sitting here scratching my head going.
Which one's what?
Who is this?
Is
You
it
know,
Jackie
what-
or,
Then the director
Katie.
of partner management, like,
Yeah.
well, which one, is it their end or our end? Yeah,
or just put the word AdCom in front of, if it's an AdCom partner manager.
okay, that's when I run out of space.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, cool, I can do that.
You call it maybe partner PM.
Yeah, there you go, partner PM.
So then
Partner
the
PM.
install process,
And
this
AdCom
is
PM.
built-in, account built-in.
AdCom director of PM. There you go. And that's another
'Cause that
director
could be
PM.
project manager, it could be partner manager, I'd just say
PM.
AdCom.
PM.
AdCom PM, partner PM.
Alright, cool.
Is that good?
Yeah, perfect.
And if somebody says, what's PM? Partner manager. Not project. Alright, so we're done. This is good, this page?
Yeah, again, this is just more
And
of
this is
a
gonna be a
granular.
brand new process.
Yeah, this is, yeah, definitely. And this is, again, this is a closer look, it's probably gonna confuse you guys, of the implementation part of it as well too. Of actually ordering the equipment and ordering the circuit. So you start off, and this is kind of parallel, ordering equipment, ordering circuit, if you guys can see that. But it, different things kicks it off. Once account number built in software, then that kicks off, ordering the circuit. But, after the customer, the client kickoff call, that's when we can start ordering the circuit. Cause now we have an understanding of, you know,
Okay, so these blocks, go back to something John just said, they don't say who does this.
this is all, I can go and fill some of that out, but yeah, I can fill these out. Yeah, all this is in, yeah, okay.
I mean, some of this could be AdCom accounting, some kind of.
So how do we handle this if we're, because we're looking for these guys to do engineering? What's the flow if they have staging configuration responsibilities for this, or
Once you get 'em.
warehousing, or?
So once we give them the circuit, create order to configure, so that's the first one. That's it, once we enter order in Southware, which is the AdCom PM, Southware using quote and bill of material for each
Okay.
location, you create a drop ship order in Southware. Then purchasing orders, equipment with equipment vendor to produce a tracking number.
Okay, partners, so this is all going to the partner.
Mm-hmm. Then once the partner receives the equipment, then create an order to configure equipment and update AdCom system.
Who does that?
That's what they do, the partner.
So
So I'd say partner PM.
this is sort of as, from this, it's sort of as assuming that there's an automated connection between Southware and the partner's ordering system.
Which one, that ones that could create order to
Go-
configure
where we
equipment?
create drop ship order, and then it goes over to purchasing order and equipment with equipment vendor, produce tracking, I mean, how many of these, do we have an automated connection? Otherwise, somebody's gonna have to pick up the phone or go to a web page on that vendor site and do that,
Once you create a drop ship order in Southware,
you know?
that, I guess you're telling like all these equipment goes to this person, goes to this, vendor. This-
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
transfer of information will have to still be a manual.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
it'll
it'll
be-
be over
oh,
the
yeah, it'll be
phone or
manual.
through
Southware's
an
not real smart
email,
to have
or
automated
no,
connection.
a spreadsheet.
definitely not. This is saying that it's on its way, and then the, AdCom PM will alert the partner PM.
Yeah,
Because
what
the
is,
partner's gotta create some kind of receiving document to recognize that it's coming.
Yeah, and I think when you see that this diamond,
Yeah.
that kind of says, you know, there's some type of checks and balances and, you know, manual, like, did you get this or not, you know?
yeah, what's the best way of getting that order over to the partner?
To let them know that it's
Yeah.
ordered. To let them know that's ordered?
Well, it's on their way, yeah, it's on its way. This is the quantity, this is the model part numbers.
Mhm.
I think the way it's done today is they go in the partner's website, like CCS, and fill out a form.
Yeah, maybe we could, check with, I don't know if Ashley would know about how NVI, how we told CCS, this is the equipment coming to you from NVI. I don't know if it was something we went into their portal and actually populated. You know, like an
Sure wouldn't wanna
equipment
have it
list.
show up there without them having some notification.
Well, once you have a tracking number, then can't you just give that tracking number to the partner?
Sometimes.
I think, to Kevin's point,
But the-
you need to call CCS
Yeah,
and sort of figure out how did that happen. They got tons and tons of stuff over there, MVI. Did we go into their portal?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did whoever had that project, you know, send them an email and say, oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
this is shipping today, expect to see it in boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So if we know that, then that means all the other partners gonna do the exact same thing? That's what
No,
we're
they may
saying?
have a different way. They may ask you to go into our site and give us a list, or just email us, or who knows what they're gonna say. We
Yeah.
haven't used them yet for drop shipping anything other than CCS, right?
Sure,
Mhm.
No, we used OnePath, but that may have changed since they've been Endeavor.
sure.
But that's an easy conversation with them, right?
With each partner?
Well, yeah, when you we go back a couple
Yeah,
sheets,
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
discussing the opportunity.
Yeah.
Guys, you're also gonna do stage and config for 300 routers.
Oh, yeah.
How do we get those things, by the way?
Yeah,
What's the
definitely.
most efficient way to do that?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, without that linkage right there, it's an opportunity for a piece of equipment to show up on their dock and get missing
Mhm.
Yeah,
in somebody's car.
or equipment shows up and they think that's all they're supposed to be receiving.
Mhm.
They receive it in, and it's like,
This is it.
first couple of installs go out, and it's like, hey, what
Yeah.
about these cards? Oh,
Yeah.
Nobody told me I was supposed to be looking out for these.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we'll probably have to get with him.
okay, cool. Create order, configure equipment, and update AdCom system. So the partners will have to create an order to configure the system and let us know how that's gonna look. To your point, nothing's automated, or unless they do APIs, if their system can talk to our system. But we definitely need that, we definitely need information on our customers' equipment that they need to, feed to us, and we need to house it some way, shape, or form, because
Well,
if
we
anything
typically either build a configuration and have them send it to us, right?
happens- Okay,
Now, there should be a process where we probably test it out or look at it or something to make sure that they built it right.
right.
But-
So we're still on the implementation, yeah, it's pretty long, so let's go ahead and flush that out. So after the partner ships equipment to the customer site, the partner sends update of equipment delivery status and install schedule and status to AdCom. So they send all that information to us. And this is the equipment. And then once that happens, the partner calls sites and schedule install. Once that install is scheduled, the partner updates AdCom system with install dates. Field tech arrives on site and AdCom is updated of tech's arrival. Field tech installs equipment and extends DMARC if needed. Engineer access AdNet to validate device response to the server. Field tech closes out install and partner updates AdCom.
So, I'm looking at this fourth swim lane. Field tech arrives on site, field tech installs, engineer access, is that a different person or is that the field tech?
Yeah, because what they do, they'll call like the engineers to say, hey, we're good to go, this is good.
Call who?
The field tech will call the
Okay.
engineer on,
So
Partner
that's my
engineer.
point, read the block. It says, if you go from right to left, it says field tech arrives on site and AdCom is updated of tech's arrival. Field tech installs equipment and extends DMARC if needed. Engineer access AdNet to validate. So is the field tech out of the picture when this next block comes, or are you still talking about the field tech there?
Yeah, the field tech will call the engineer to access. add
Partner
into-
engineer?
Yeah, partner engineer.
Okay, so I just put maybe
Well,
partner
okay,
engineer in
so-
the third, in the,
So is the partner engineer gonna even have access to validate that AdNet sees anything?
Josh was gonna give him that?
Josh, yeah,
Okay.
because they're gonna have to, because we're not doing
All right,
it.
so that engineer access
Yeah,
there
that's
should
true.
say partner engineer,
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
yeah.
Filter closes out. Install, partner updates, AdCom, partner opens change request, and we're back to,
Yeah,
And what if it doesn't?
yeah, you need a yes, no, if the site doesn't go, where does that go? You know, much like we talked about the escalation.
yeah,
before.
it'll revert back to that first, once we kind of get that.
Okay.
Anything else on this page?
I don't know, but again, I think you have to sit down with Rick and, because when we roll this out, it's gotta be rolled out to the company, everybody has to understand what their role is. And if there's any ambiguity in any of those blocks, these guys will keep you on the phone for an hour on each block, you won't get anywhere, so. Gotta make sure it's crystal clear. So far, once you get out the first flow, not much from the sales folks at all, it's all internal.
Yeah, I think, what you may, have a problem with is the project manager, or the AdCom PM, and them talking with the AT&T account managers, giving updates on the status and stuff like that. That's where probably sales gonna be like, so is it the AdCom and the partner project manager gonna be on the phone at the same time? You know, how are they gonna get that information to the AdCom project manager, partner manager, PM? Because that's where, when I was talking to Lisa, that's it, she was saying that that's where the ambiguity come in, and how they feel, like,
Well, look how AT&T handles it. When they put a global project manager on there and we're a sub-project manager, they let us know what they're expecting us to report now. That's what we have to do. Our partner management needs to set the expectations for the partner.
right,
Listen, we're on a call every week or whatever it is. I'm looking for you to update this piece of it. I'll update this piece of it and you chime in when this comes up.
yeah,
So AT&T, when those global people on there, they'll be giving them updates on circuits, and these are the jeopardies, blah, 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 and then when it gets to the field, they'll say, Lisa, what's going on in the field? Lisa picks up from there, so we gotta manage that.
yeah, definitely,
So,
definitely.
yeah, and Lisa and them should relate to that, cause they get sucked into that all the time.
Yeah.
They have a
It's-
global AT&T project.
okay, so we want our AdCom PMs to be doing the circuit updates and the AdNet updates.
And the install updates. Oh,
Circuit,
Now, you're
circuit,
talking to a client,
yeah,
is that what you're talking about? In other words, we got a weekly call.
okay, with AT&T on the phone and the client.
With AT&T on the phone and the client. It's our PM's call whether they wanna have the partner manager on there,
You're right,
Okay.
or not,
or they don't. They
Right.
may want them on there and use them as their resource. The
Or-
AT&T, their client, doesn't have to know they're an outsourced partner manager. They could be, this is the PM who's handling the field
Okay,
install.
okay,
And
so that's okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess that's
So
what
this
it
is
is.
our hired field force is what it's about. So, yeah.
professional services,
Well, they are now. I mean, they do all our
Yeah.
on-site work. We're just trying to get them to do more.
more,
Okay,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
so we probably need to
Still
let
field
Jackie,
services Any way you look at it.
Yeah, and that's the only thing, Lisa brought up that with sales may have a problem with.
With what?
Is that ambiguity of, yeah, who's gonna be giving
You know,
an
don't
update?
let them suck you into an ambiguity
Right.
conversation,
And
because
that's-
that's the first thing they'll use not to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
That partner manager, whether it be Lisa, whether it be Erskine, whether, I don't care who it is, no
Right.
matter who that is, they're the ones that
Manages.
make the decision based on the opportunity, based on
Yeah.
the client, based on the
Client,
carrier.
Yeah,
They may say, you know what, Jeff's project, he really appreciates having a couple people having different pieces, he feels like there's more people involved in it, you know, and there's more people looking out. Marcus, he just wants to hear from one person.
right, that's it.
So then you just get the partner manager to feed into you. If it was me, I'd still have him on the call in case I had to tap him.
It needs to be the same process over and over again.
But no, you can't, no,
Right.
don't get hung up on
I
that,
mean-
Jeff, because if it's the same process, people are gonna bitch. Here's the key. None of the partner managers we have are minimum wage people.
Right,
they are smart enough to make this decision, knowing the client, knowing the project. Do I want that partner, manager, PM to be active on the call? Or do I want them to give me all the data? I'll report, and I just want them to be passive. Don't say anything. Albeit, if I ask something of you, chime up. Otherwise, you're just a fly on the wall, just like we have those conversations, right? Because someone like Erskine, they're just fine, I'm gonna go right through that call.
Right.
New young lady over there may feel, well, you know, they're doing all the field installs. There was a Jeopardy the other day on a field visit. They know all the details. I don't. So you may ask them to chime in on that piece. But it's their call. And after you work with these partners and their folks over a certain amount of time, you can get a sense for who the good ones are you want to tap and who are the ones you want to say, hey, just send me the data.
Sure.
Now I'll run through it.
Yeah, and I think, well, we definitely have to get them in, the partners in, not just on the phone, but I would love to have them either face-to-face or even a call on that, the granular of transferring information, not just with this, but like.
Well, it's gotta be per project.
Yeah, yes, well,
Some of these projects are not gonna take a tremendous amount of data transfer. Others are gonna be pretty MVI. There's a lot of moving parts with MVI. So if there's a partner, true partner management play there, you'd really have to sit down with those folks and set the expectations pretty quick.
okay.
You have an alliance order, you're putting in a T1, and by the way, they want you to go out there and rack and stack it. You don't need 15 calls and 1,000 processes to go in there and plug into T1.
So
You
if-
still need to track it, but it's different severity, right?
Yeah, so how you track it? I mean, how would the partner, AdCom PM, will track, you know, that install on a case-by-case, or on a partner-by-partner basis, even if it's the same thing? And making sure, understanding that partner, like, okay, are you gonna go through, we're gonna go through your portal, you're gonna send us Excel updates, Excel
I
sheets?
thought we figured that out per partner. how
But we
they
have to
was.
have, I just wanna see how that looks, and what information's on that, because if they say that, okay, we only can have this amount of information, so where are we gonna get, how are we gonna get the other information?
I tell you who would be a good resource for you to talk to, because he did it on all this Blue Line stuff, the same kind of thing, because we were sending people out to move stuff from the Sprint or from the other vendors' router to this one. They can give you some insight on that.
Because I know they can, like you said, yes, they have, you know, software that can do APIs and they can check statuses. But when I was talking to Lisa, she was like, but, you know, some partners may not have, can have all the information in their system. Some partners can, we don't know. We just don't know too much of their limitations.
Well, that's part of what we were supposed to be doing in the last 3 months on identifying the partners. Not just they can do A, B, C, D, but how do we interface with them?
Right.
Is it portal driven? Is it, just like when OnePath came back and said, I don't want to touch anything under 250 sites. Damn, I didn't know that until they came back.
But I guess we won't know until we can't have them build a portal for,
They all
if
have
we don't have a
portals.
partner yet.
CCS has portals. What can they give you out of that portal?
Right, that's
Should
the
there be
thing.
we worked for CCS for 7 years. We should be able to put a tick in the box on what they can do in their portal. We worked with the PMs have worked with OnePath in their, what do they call that portal?
Shoot.
Endeavor,
Yeah.
whatever it was. They work with those, so don't
So-
let people tell you that we don't know what they can do, because we do. We've worked
Okay.
them, except for
Thai National or MDIS?
Thai National, MDSI.
MDSI.
And could they tell us what's available through the portal? Should we have a matrix, a portal matrix, just like we have a vendor matrix? And said you can order equipment, you can check inventory, you can pull reports, yes, no. You take, what's these last guys we have, that have been a pain in the ass since we got them, Velocity?
Velocity, yeah.
What can you do with their portal? They have one check mark to log in.
You said we have a portal.
So,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
good, right, to
Yeah.
identify that.
And
Yeah.
I wouldn't get so worked up on API between us and them, because Oz doesn't have an API, you know, so there is no way to link Oz up to anybody else. And AdNet's API is for customers who link their ticket system to us.
I don't want,
Yeah.
here's
So-
why I think APIs may be a bit of a folly, because I just think the juice may not be worth the squeeze to try and get.
So how are we gonna get, like,
How do you get it today? How did they get their information today? We use CCS. We paid them over $1 million last year.
Well, we didn't use them for, I guess, this level of, I guess.
We used them
Still
for
the same
everything,
thing.
everything but project
Okay,
management.
but still, so our part, so how about we use them for engineering as well?
Yes,
Alright, so,
we use them for stage config.
okay, so that
Mhm.
information, that state configuration information has been sent to our AdNet portal, so we'll have information on that.
What we didn't do and what we're forcing them to do is, we would, there's many projects, we would ship the equipment to CCS. We'd send them the configuration. They would load the configuration.
Mhm.
They would go off their schedule. They would kit and ship the equipment to the site.
Mhm.
They would coordinate the technician to come on site.
Mhm.
They would rack and stack the equipment,
Mhm.
okay? Now, for 90%, that's as far as they went, probably 99%. What we started to do as of last year and say, wait a minute, guys, and then they call us up and say, we're ready, doesn't turn out. We're saying, guys, I don't want you to call us up and say you're ready. I want you to go ahead and test and turn up the circuit and use your own engineering resources if you have a problem, right? So that's new for them. That's the piece that they're going to do that they hadn't done.
Okay.
The other thing they hadn't done is, when they come up with the schedule, okay, with these 100 sites, we're gonna do 20 this week, these are the 20, this is when the guy's gonna show up.
Mhm.
We would go bird dog, make sure the guy was there, make sure. We're gonna do that. We're hiring you to go out there, you should project manage your own field techs.
Mhm.
And by the way, when they have a question on the document, don't call us, we gave you the document, you said you sent someone out there who could understand the document, call your folks.
Right.
So we're getting them to be more accountable, because we're paying them a good dollar every hour to be
Yeah.
out there. We want somebody out there who can think,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So now, let's say they can get through that, they test and turn it up. Then they test it, they get the circuit turned up. Then we need to figure out, what is the process to come to us to get it up on AdNet? Because they've done all the work now. They're not calling Sylvester to say, okay, let's get the carrier, I think we're ready to go.
Mhm.
They're doing all that.
Yeah, and in the case of Blue Line, we were PMing our people and we were PMing their people,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
And so that became so resource intensive on us, we were missing things.
That's the whole reason we got into this partner management thing, because we lost over $100,000 on that, what's that company?
Men's
TMW.
Warehouse?
TMW.
Men's Warehouse. Right? Because we were just engineering hours. Our field guys were going out there like dummies, do it, and it ain't working.
Mhm.
I don't know what to do. We said, wait a minute, guys. Every time your guy doesn't know what to do, I got double expense.
Right.
A, I'm paying you more time for him being on site, and I'm engaging one of my tier 3s.
Right.
So we decided, listen, we're gonna try and push off these installation tasks. And if you wanna be part of this partner management group, team, this $1 million+ we give away every year,
Mhm.
then you're gonna have to step up and do the project management and the field engineering,
Mhm.
right? Now, if it's a high-level engineering thing, we gave you a configuration, you put it in exactly as it should be, you're out there, it can't come up, your engineer can't get it up, then grab my tier 3. But for the longest time, our tier 3s have been the default because they couldn't find an instruction on page 7.
Mhm.
Bad, very expensive use of resources,
Okay.
okay? So when you finalize this thing in the next couple of days, be thinking through that it's a relatively new piece for them, so they have to understand what we're pushing them through.
Mhm.
And it's a new piece for us. But they've all agreed, we've had them all in this room, or we went and talked to them, and they fully agreed, yeah, we're on board, we're gonna be able to do this. So you gotta hold them to it.
Okay. All right, cool. So,
Just your interface is gonna be through their web portals or whatever
Yeah.
portal they have, and it's not gonna be an API.
Yeah, they're not gonna build something new for us, but they're gonna let you know what is automated through their portal and what is not. That's a decision point we'll have to make. If it's let's say it's a NVI, and they got a ton of equipment, they want maintenance across the US, they need engineering, higher level engineering, CCS may not be the road for us. MDSI may be a road. They have depots all over the US, right, for maintenance, right? They have higher level engineering. They're gonna be more expensive, but they fit the bill. So when Kevin goes down that checklist, 600 locations, next day maintenance, all sites, and it's an off-brand that doesn't have the maintenance, or they don't wanna buy SmartNet, then we may have to look at an MDSI and plug them in there.
So what's gonna trigger like the Thai Nationals and MDSI to start building, and maybe even Velocity, to start building portals for our partner managers?
They're not.
Okay.
And what they're going to do in the beginning is they're gonna say, here's what we have available, my thought.
Sure.
Here's what we have available, because I'm not telling, if you're Velocity and you're Thai National and you're CCS, I can't tell you as Velocity, you're gonna get $500,000 worth of business.
Right, that's right, okay.
Now,
Yeah, they're not gonna build anything unless they got a.
so I think we have to understand,
Okay.
Marcus, each one of them, basic, what do you have today that I can start working with?
Okay.
I know OnePath has one,
Mm-hmm.
I know
CCS.
CCS has one, we use them all the time, I know those two guys have one. Thai National, I believe, has one too.
Yeah, yeah, they showed us and everything. Yeah.
So, they have them.
Yeah,
The question is, you take them and you look at them in this metrics and you say, Thai National. In my mind, I always looked at those guys as great resources if it's just a test and turn up. It seems like that's where they get the meat of what they do. They go out and that's who Ashley used in her old company. She'd sell a circuit to somebody and they'd say, well, we don't have anybody to, well, we have a partner who does that. And boom, they just push it off. So I know these guys do it.
okay, yeah,
So they may be the best ones if it's just a simple test and turn up. Because
okay,
these other guys don't want to get involved, not enough complexity.
okay.
Now, if it takes stage configure, receipt of equipment, managing inventory, don't know. I know CCS does it, I know MDSI does it, and I know OnePath does it, but it may kick out Thai National. I know there's only a certain level of engineering from experience CCS is gonna handle. MDSI, they're telling me that, very high level engineers, Cisco engineers, they may be the best pick for a complex one,
Okay,
right?
okay.
And OnePath doesn't want to touch anything from under 250, so it's not going to be as easy as we think. But once we get used to who does what,
Yeah.
and for all I know, CCS may end up with another $1 million this year. I don't know. But our job is to get this off the PMs, so I have less PMs to manage more projects because they're managing project managers, not doing the actual project management themselves, right?
Okay.
So that's the goal, and the same with the engineering. I'd love to have some of those tier 3 guys supporting some of these knock issues that run on for days and days.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I can move that stage and config to somebody else and give them more time over here, it's great.
Okay.
So you want the partners PM managing the process at their end and feeding information automatically back to our PM.
Yeah, and we're managing partners and not managing the project per se. We may be the voice of the project.
Yeah, yeah, the voice of the project.
Yeah.
It's good, John.
I don't know if it's good, but it's just, I mean, I think I want to make sure we're all thinking the same way
Yeah,
in what the goals are, right?
right.
Um,
And this is the last one, this is the more granular of the, and this is what I got with Josh on the engineering part of it. Partner field engineer close out process workflow. So the final verification with field tech. So, access AdNet to validate device response to the server. This is the engineering, the partner engineering, I'm gonna put that in there. For the partner engineering, access AdNet to validate device response to the server, okay? Did it pass? If no, it is a CPE issue or a circuit issue. If it's a CPE issue, validate partner engineering, validate router configurations and functionality.
There's a third possibility too, and that could be incorrect information in AdNet.
In what part? From
This
a,
one right here. where you-
right, but to validate router configurations and functionality, and you say as well as
Yeah,
AdNet?
AdNet can't pull it, it might be due to an AdNet data issue.
So it was CPE, circuit issue, or AdNet?
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
I mean, the example today was Josh said if there's spaces in the onboarding document, it's
That's gonna mess it up.
Mess it up, right?
Mm.
Let me ask you this, in the first swim lane, access AdNet to validate device, it passes, open MACD with AdNet to, is the process to open a MACD and what we need minimum for a MACD gonna be in the install guide?
I guess, yeah, we have to put that in there for the, engineering
Okay,
now
so
that
here's
they have to do
what
that.
we need to be thinking about.
Or do we?
Well, I'd like to have the partner engineer, the support engineer
Have that?
in Birmingham be the actual ones as opposed to the field tech.
Right, yeah. Oh, so instead of the install guy, have the engineer.
Access to
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely wanna have it there. Open MACD within AdNet to AdSite to monitoring, yeah.
So here's the challenge. Reading that block after listening, there's a lot behind that.
Mhm.
Who are you gonna give the responsibility to if we don't want it to the field guy and we want it to the supporting engineer? Does he have, for CCS, my thought is they just need one process, right? It's gonna be same for every install. To Kevin's point, there's a lot less chance of error if it's one process in front of a team rather than individual techs trying to do this, right?
Mhm.
And I would think this guy's a step above that engineer on site. Not only that, if he's doing all of them, he's gonna get pretty damn good at it,
Right,
because he's getting from everywhere.
Well, and the other thing is from a security aspect, you don't wanna give too many passwords out that, you know, cause we don't know when somebody leaves,
Mhm.
you know, so you don't wanna give people read-write access to things.
no, cause that field tech doesn't just do installs for CCS
Yeah.
and us, they do installs for,
So that last block is the, what, the partner
Textiles.
support engineer,
Mhm.
you know, does it? Because not the field engineers, but the support engineer.
that's my, yeah, that's what I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's gotta be some kind of verbiage behind that, if that person leaves that company, that login and password goes away.
Let me ask you this, have you
Mm.
covered this with any of the partners?
No, not yet. I was wait till we vet it out first.
So what are we taking away from this?
Lot. Well, just definitely for the wording, more, especially on the other pages, when you get more of a closer look, the responsibilities, a better, closing that loop from when we add it to, AdNet, like the verification part of it. Yeah. Like, how you gonna verify, who's gonna verify it? You know, if it's been added or not. So I have to get with, Josh to see how that's gonna look.
We're gonna change the verbiage to be AdCom PM and
Oh,
partner
yeah.
PM.
Right, to across the board. Other than
So this, let's go into this then, because I think a couple things. You need to cover this with Rick.
that. Second?
You need to cover this with Rick,
Okay,
and then you need to cover it with probably Rick first,
yeah.
I would think. Partner deal summary handoff for new projects. This is the same thing they're doing today, right?
Exactly.
Just in a different format,
Actually, it's the same format that we're using today.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't change anything, right? Yeah.
It's just the word,
Yeah.
part
And
of
this
the
seems,
deal.
yeah, and this seems to be working out just fine as far as the
Perfect.
accounting department and
Good.
the project managers and.
So we're gonna, follow-ups are, follow up with Richard, see if we can get this into embedded email form.
Yeah,
Clean this up and schedule a call with
Rick.
Rick and let him know that, you know, we've selected the partners, make sure the matrix in there so he knows what they are.
Yeah.
And then this is gonna be the process flow. You probably wanna give him a few days to look at it,
Sure.
and he'll come up with questions, his thought process is always trying, how can we simplify it as much as we can, which is a good thought process. Simplify without missing what we need to get done, right? Because the whole key to doing this is get more projects through the door and manage project managers rather than us project managing. Get engineers to do more stuff back there rather than stage and config.
Mhm.
Get them on these high-level issues we seem to be farting around with all the time.
Sure.
And this way, we get these guys something to do. If there's not projects going on there, they can be supporting them not.
Sure. Okay.
And then if you can clean this up and if you can try and get Rick before Friday, it'd be great, because I'm meeting RJ on Friday on this thing.
Okay, that
So I
works.
want everything
Yeah.
buttoned up as much as we can, button it up.
All right.
If you need me on in office, just.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.